Hello, everyone. Oh, fucker. Okay. Hey, everyone. Today, I want to talk about how to actually fucking do things. This is a topic that has been very interesting to me because for a long time, I've been wondering, like, why is it that I'm not actually doing things? People will tell me, or I mean, the common advice on the internet would be like, just do it. Just do it. You gotta thug it out, man. Just get some motivation and just fucking go. And I'd be like, that doesn't fucking help me with shit, man. Like that doesn't fucking help me. Like, I listened to that and it just stressed me the fuck out. I was like, dude, why am I not able to fucking do anything? And yeah, so I think I've kind of cracked the code on that a little bit, as evidenced by how I'm actually doing things right now. So, okay, what actually is it to be agentic? Well, it's to take an idea, take a plan, come up with something, and take action on it and iterate on it, course correct until you eventually create an outcome of your own accord that didn't previously exist, that a boss didn't tell you to do, that society didn't tell you to do. It's basically just being a self starter and creating something new, whether that be a plan, an idea, or something cool like a fucking rocket, man. Yeah. Oh wait, I want to draw. Okay. So the first step I would say is one of the biggest blocks to getting things to being agentic is you don't even know what it means to be agentic. You we're programmed um, to want certain things. We're told that we should do things, but often it's just a goal that we inherited from other people that we don't actually give a fuck about it. And that's the main point. It's not like, are you original? I'm not talking about being original here. I'm talking about like who actually gives a fuck about the thing, you know? Or are you doing it to maintain an image in society? Are you doing it to make your parents happy? Are you doing it because that's what would get you status? And those are all perfectly fine goals. Just recognize that that's actually your goal. My goal is not, to make $1 million. My goal, the reason I want to make $1 million is because I make my parents happy. So your real goal is to make your parents happy. And so just like realize like, all right, well, what do you actually want? Like find that alignment, listen into yourself. Like, what do you give a fuck about? What do you give a fuck about? Because I tell you, being agentic is all about persisting and iterating. And you're going to have a much harder time persisting and iterating if it's not your own fucking goal. You can half-assedly put on some kind of attempt to get something done. But ultimately, if you're not listening to yourself, you're not going to make the iterations, you're not going to make the course corrections, you're not going to develop the sense of taste to make the thing that you're doing actually worth doing. There's this type of phenomenon I see where people go to the mall and they buy all the clothes that they think would make them look good to other people. And you can kind of tell when people are doing that, when they're not really listening to themselves and deriving their own taste, but rather when they're doing what they think they should wear to look good in the eyes of other people, they don't look nearly as good. So, finding alignment by listening to yourself, it does two things. It makes it so the goal you end up coming up with is way more interesting and unique. Um, and two, it makes it so you're much more likely to actually make the thing fucking happen, to let it evolve and listen to it over time. Because ultimately, a crucial part of making anything new is listening, whether that's listening to yourself or listening to the universe. That sounds very esoteric, but I literally mean like when I'm making this fucking slide deck, I start doing it and then I listen and like, do I like how this is going? How does it want to be different? How do I want to make this a little bit different? And that's what I'm gonna do next time. I'm gonna listen to it and be like, okay, this is okay this way, but I feel like I want to use some kind of different pictures or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Okay, so alignment. Listen to yourself. Next is now that you've listened to yourself, you can actually set a course. But the critical thing is the end point isn't really where you should be focusing. You have no actual idea what's going to happen in the future. And if you set a goal, you just say like, well, I decide I want to start a tech company and have it be done 5 years, and I'm just going to work on making that happen. The issue is that closes your eyes to new information that happens as you pursue the goal, right? So that's one thing that it does. You'll like start making progress and making progress, and then you're getting information that's like telling you, maybe this isn't really right, or maybe like there's no need for this actual tech company or whatever. Like instead of saying like, I'm gonna make this this like text to speech company $1 billion, you actually listen into the present moment, how the universe, how basically people respond to what you're building, and how you respond to what you're building. And as you progress, you will gradually find that the thing you're building has a life of its own. And so it's really about, you know, the course is a hypothesis. It's something to just throw away in a split second. Um, I see this phenomena a lot where people will, like, for example, want to get in really good shape, and then they'll make this insane plan to get in shape, and they'll beat themselves up if they don't adhere to it 100%. And this ends up with people, working out, like doing these insane workouts at like fucking midnight, fucking up their sleep schedule because they said they would work out every day this year, and they're not gonna fucking fall off the course, right? But really, the better thing is just listening into the moment. And so, yeah, you want to listen to the present and let it unfold, and continually, be willing to throw your plan in the fire in a split second. Um, it's not like, and pay attention, like, what do you want? And that can change. Let it evolve. Listen to yourself. Let your wants evolve, and let the course emerge from the present moment. So it's critical, if you actually are doing this. Oh, fuck. God fucking damn it, my lights just died. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, a big part of enjoying things is getting feedback. If you think about video games, like in video games, one reason they're enjoyable is you're getting immediate feedback on if you're succeeding or failing, and you're kind of told what to do and whatever. So once you set your course, set up some metrics that will tell you if you're actually getting somewhere. And they could be any metric, just like think about it, just feel into it. What feels like an important way? Like, how would I know if I'm actually making progress? Like, what feels meaningful here? And then, measure it. Don't measure it so you can do whatever you want. Like, but just have some way to know if you're actually getting anywhere with it. And then that does two things. One is it tells you how to iterate. Because then it tells you like, hey, I'm doing this thing and I'm not actually moving the needle, so I'm going to change the way I'm doing it, so that then and then eventually you find ways to make the goal start happening. Whereas if you don't have a metric, then you often, just keep doing the same random bullshit and it won't get anywhere. Another thing is to follow inner guiding principles in each moment. So, go in and cultivate, like, how do you want to live your life? How are you going to drive? It's like your core, like the goal is where you're going. The principles or the metrics tell you if you're getting there, and the principles tell you how to drive to get there. So just think like, what principles that when you embody them make it 80% more likely that the goal is likely to happen. And experiment with it. Find out for yourself. And yeah. All right. I don't feel the best about that slide, but let's keep going. So the next thing is, if you're still not doing it, and it's something you truly want to be doing, then you likely have an emotional block around it. So a good way to overcome that is literally imagine everything that could fucking go wrong with your plan and feel it 100%. Go into excruciating detail. And then you will realize, like, shit, I just felt all of this. And by the way, your brain can't really tell the difference between an imagined thing and an actual thing. There's a slight difference, but you can trigger the same emotional you experience if it failed. without it actually failing. So you can, and this is something that has been done for thousands of years. The Stoics did it, the samurai did it. Man, lots of people did it. So yeah, if you're not taking action on it, feel the emotions that you're avoiding by not taking action on it. Feel it fully. And the weird thing is not just the worst experience, also feel the best experience and just feel both of them. And then you get emotional clarity on it. And you'll find out like if you do that and you still don't want to do it, it's time to reevaluate. It's time to reevaluate. Like, is this actually in alignment? This is why alignment came first. Is the goal actually in alignment? Because if I felt through it, and I'm not avoiding anything by not doing it, maybe you're avoiding something by just sticking to the plan. Maybe the real emotion that you need to confront and integrate is the emotion of changing your plan. So, this is, I think, one of the most critical parts to getting anything done that I didn't know about like 5 years ago is people tell you to thug out your emotions, but listen to them. Listen to your emotions. See that you can tolerate them. See that you can actually welcome them. And then they don't become a factor that makes you not do the plan. Because like one of the biggest things that eats away your willpower is actually emotional suppression. So, if you're using willpower to get things done, that's just that plan's not going to last. You're not going to get very far. Yeah, so that's a great thing to do. The next thing to do is notice, this probably should have come earlier, but notice if when you start doing the plan, it starts to become like, at first you're excited to do it, and then it becomes like very quickly becomes something you should fucking do. You're much less likely to keep doing it. And if you do it, you're not going to be doing it in a way that's tasteful. You're not going to be doing it in a way that's actually worth doing. Because it's like, there's one thing just to do it, to check it off. There's another thing to do it in a way that's actually meaningful. So it's much more motivating to motivate yourself with your wants. So if you find that like you're shooting yourself into doing it, ask yourself, what's the want under the should? Like, what do you want out of this? And you'll notice that, like, if you know, small children want to do things all the time and they do it. Like, think about how agentic a baby is. Like, I'm fucking hungry. I'm just going to fucking scream and scream and scream until I get what I want. There's no voice in their head. There's nothing telling them they should do it. There's nothing telling them they should walk. And if they did should themselves in the walking, it's much less likely they're going to walk. So just notice, like, you do, you do want to do things. Listen into that. You're not a fucking lazy piece of shit. You're a creative, interesting person, and you actually do want cool things. That's like why you're watching this video. That's why, like, why would you even care about not doing your goal if you didn't want something out of it? So at the bottom, that's always your basic motivation. Even if it's a should, just notice that like the reason you care about the should is because you want something. And maybe the thing is you want people to accept you, whatever. But go in and cultivate your wants. Listen to yourself, explore. And the other thing is learn how to enjoy the thing. That's what keeps you consistent. If at the end of the day you have energy from it, if at the end of the task you have energy from it, you're going to keep showing up. And the other thing with enjoyment is when you're enjoying what you're doing, let's see, I can prove it right now. I'm going to enjoy myself a little bit more. You tend to produce a higher quality result. Like if I'm genuinely enjoying myself, I'm much more involved in what I'm doing. I'm much more involved in what I'm saying. And I'm a much more of a flow state. And it just tends to be, I'm producing a better result. Like for me, if I'm enjoying myself 10% more, it's like, let's take off the fucking need to get it perfectly right and just show up. And I'm lighter, I'm looser. And there are lots of ways to enjoy things. There's tons of ways to enjoy things. So it's a huge and fruitful thing to explore both of these things. And I'm telling you, if you do it, you will end up being more consistent. Like I fucking swear to God. Okay. Next slide. And this goes into the last thing. If it's very quick that, you can start turning this project, this thing, and like see that, oh man, like this YouTube channel, it could become $1 million fucking YouTube or 1 million subscriber fucking YouTube channel. Like, oh my God, I need to do that so that I can have the life that I want. It becomes much less enjoyable. It becomes like, just feel like I'm making this so fucking important. Then it's like, um, you know, it adds a whole bunch of emotional inertia that makes you much less likely to do something. And if it's super important, you're much less likely to be creative with it. So to get rid of the importance, feel through it and start playing with it. That will make it much more enjoyable. You're going to want to show up and do it more often, and you're going to produce more interesting stuff. You're going to be, you know, exploring the unknown. If you're playing, you don't want to just do the same thing every time. And if you're playing, you generally want to, do something that ultimately is rewarding. And if it's rewarding for you, it's a good chance it'll be rewarding for other people. So, you know, I could be doing all these things a little bit more in this video. But yeah, I mean, that is a basic way to get things done. Yeah. Conclusion is thank you for watching. I'm going to play a little bit more here. Yeah. You know, feel into your wants, feel into what's true for you. Enjoy yourself, enjoy the process. It makes it way more likely that you'll keep doing it. You're gonna, it takes less energy to do it. And when you're doing it, you end up doing a much better job. Yeah, there are many other things. I'm sure I'm going to remake this type of video multiple times as I get my thoughts straight on it. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what I gotta say right now. Yeah. All right. Because my experiment this time was to make a plan for how I'm going to speak. And it kind of was interesting. Gonna iterate on it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next time, but yeah. All right. Thank you.